Hello, I'm Nick Stone. I'm the conference producer at the Art Group, and this afternoon I'll be talking about the Legal Apprenticeship event. Delighted to introduce Jenny Pelling, Director of Business Apprenticeship at the Silex Law School. This afternoon I'm going to be talking to Jenny about some of the work that you do and some of the things you're seeing in the apprenticeship levy, and we'll be seeing a little bit more of Jenny when she comes to speak at the event on the 5th of June. So my first question for you this afternoon is the trends. What trends are you seeing in how law firms are using the apprenticeship?
It's really interesting, Nick, because the government is talking about a reduction in apprenticeship numbers as a result of the levy. They're saying that there are 200,000 fewer apprentices this year than last, and they're blaming the levy for that. But actually, we're seeing the opposite in law. So there's been an exponential growth in the legal industry taking up apprenticeships and making the use of the levy. So growth is the first trend. The second thing we're seeing is that apprenticeships are moving not just from being a school leaver initiative, which I think several firms started them off as, to being a tool and a strategy to develop current employees. So it's being used to kind of upskill existing employees. The third thing we're seeing is that apprentices, now that firms realise their potential, are being set targets, they're having billing rates attributed to them, and they're actually making a significant financial contribution. So it's moving from being a CSR initiative to being a CSR initiative and to being a financial advantage to the firm. And on the back of that, we're seeing apprentices being given exposure to greater client work, going along to client pitches. And I think that all spells out that there's a reduction in nervousness around having apprentices in a law firm.
And I wondered, following on from what you're saying, and I'm wondering what makes legal apprenticeships such a success for law firms. What do you think that is, Jenny?
So what we've seen, I mean, we've been delivering apprenticeships at Silex Law School since 2013, so it's good to reflect back over 5 years and see what's worked well and the best practice out there. And we've seen that the engagement of firms is so critical. So getting senior buy-in and having that champion at top level of the apprenticeship strategy, but then making sure that is cascaded down, as they say, so that it's not just a strategy from the top, but that the people on an operational level buy into it as well, because they're the ones that are going to need to make sure that the rules work, to make sure that they're giving off-the-job learning time to the apprentices, to make sure that their targets are being reduced a little bit so that they can take time to study. So it's got to work at that level as well. We're also seeing it's a success if there is strong communication, and a lot of these apprentices are millennials, so the school leavers are coming in and they need that additional support if it's their first job, their first experience of professional services. So the programs that are successful are the ones that build in a lot of support around that. And then finally, I think, is making sure that the firm is delegating the right range of work, because our job at Silex Law School as a training provider is to find the right candidate and to check suitability, but it's the firm's responsibility to delegate the right type of work so that the apprentice can meet all of the requirements and demonstrate that they add value, that they are meeting the standard. So the firm really needs to know at the outset that they can give the right kind of drafting, the right kind of research projects, and they're not just sticking apprentices in admin and forgetting about them.
That's interesting. Of course, I can't let you leave today without asking you about pay. So I'm wondering where you think salaries, whether you're seeing salary movements and where you're seeing some of the opportunities in progression, Jenny.
Yes, Nick, we are. And there's a huge range, as you would imagine, across different parts of the country and different types of legal organisation. But we're seeing that the salaries going up. So the starting salaries range from about 12.5k and they go up to around 22, 23k. And last year starting salaries were maxing out at about 18k. So I think that the value of apprenticeships is being shown and is evident in that respect. And in terms of your second question about progression, we're seeing the development now, because we've had apprentices with us for a while, we're seeing those apprentices going on now to the next stage. So, of our 450 apprentices, we've got people who started as paralegal and are now nearly at the end and are qualifying as lawyers imminently. So there's that development from administration to paralegal, from paralegal to chartered legal executive and to solicitor. and to a wider range of roles actually, in business support, in sort of MBA programs, IT programs as well. And I think what's really exciting is that it won't be long until there is the first partner in a law firm who trained as an apprentice.
Interesting.
And we will celebrate.
Jenny, great introduction there. Thanks for telling us a little bit about the apprenticeship, and we look forward to seeing Jenny at the Legal Apprenticeship event on the 5th of June. Big thanks to you, Jenny, this afternoon for coming in, and we look forward to seeing you and everybody else at the event next month. Thank you.